Hello everyone, this is Yeeflex and welcome back to another Yeeflex Outdoors video. In this video, this is going to be a recap of my mid-February fishing trip to San Pablo Reservoir. So San Pablo Reservoir just reopened at the beginning of February, and on this trip I went to San Pablo the third weekend that it's been open after the opening day. I did not go opening day this year because I was too busy working and the conditions weather-wise were not good because it's been raining quite a bit in the Bay Area. So I finally made it out in this mid-February trip. And initially on this trip, I was supposed to be meeting a buddy of mine who is a local fisherman at San Pablo that I met and I fished with in one of my prior videos. When I took one of my old longtime friends out fishing, we met up with him and we all fished in one part of San Pablo. This time I went fishing with him and the group of his friends that were fishing. So it was a really cool experience of being in a kind of like fishing group. I've never been part of a fishing group before. Most of the time I either go with my friends because I'm introducing them how to fish, or I'm going with my dad. I've seen these guys fishing before. We see kind of each other at the same spots where we fish at in San Pablo, but this is the first time I've ever really fished with them, and it was thanks to one of my friends that I found out was a local guy, part of that group, and I finally got to be able to fish with that group. So those guys got to San Pablo pretty early, and this time we fished in a totally different area that I don't normally fish very often. We were at the boat launch side of San Pablo. So this was a first for me because I hadn't been to the boat launch side of San Pablo in a very long time, but from what my friend and his group's recommendations were, is that the boat launch for right now was the better spot of getting trout because that's where they heard people were catching trout. So we went to the boat launch not really expecting much. My friend and his group of friends, they were there at around 7 to 7:30 in the morning, and I got there a little bit later at around 8:30. And I think prior to me getting to that area, there were a couple people there that got bites, but they didn't connect on any fish. But I actually casted one of my rods out first, which was my red rod. And then my second rod, oddly enough, did not have the swivel and weight on it, so I had to retie that. So it took me a little bit of time to retie it. I had put a leader on, threw the bait in the water, and I swear it was like, I don't know, 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, like, my buddy was like, "Hey man, like, you got a bite." And like, I saw the bobber going up and I picked up the rod. I wasn't sure if it was still biting, felt the tug, and then set hook and was fighting the fish. And lo and behold, as the fish was getting closer, it was a lightning trout. And this is like the first ever lightning trout I've ever caught. My dad has always wanted to catch a lightning trout, and I thought, maybe one day I'll catch one, but it wasn't really that important for me to catch one. But I caught my first lightning trout. I brought it in. My buddy got one of the other guys' nets, and he got in the net, and it was a pretty decent size golden trout, or is kind of what they call it. It's not really a golden trout, it's like a lightning trout. There's like two different names. Around here they call it lightning trout, in other parts of the US they call it a golden trout, but in California they actually have a native golden trout that looks nothing like this lightning trout. But to get off my tangent, basically this is the first lightning trout I ever caught, and it was pretty awesome for me. One, because I wasn't exactly planning to catch any fish today. I would have just been happy if I was out in nature because I hadn't gone fishing, and with the way life is going, I just really need to be out fishing. And that was a big kind of relief for me because it was literally the first fish, I think, out there on the water or out in that area with all the fishermen around us. Like, no one had caught any fish until I just kind of pulled up and caught a fish. And then shortly after, another group to the left of where we were fishing, they also caught a lightning trout. And you'll see in the video here, that I was not the only one to catch fish. So in our group, we had about four other guys besides me, and I only knew one other guy. I met all these guys today, but one of the other guys I had seen fishing before at a different spot. So we kind of knew each other, like we were familiar with each other, but we didn't really know each other. So we finally got to introduce ourselves to each other and get to know each other. And a lot of the day was me netting the other guy's fish. So one of the guys caught two trout, and another guy caught two trout, and then two guys got skunked, unfortunately. Which I was hoping everyone would at least catch one trout. So as a group, we caught five trout. And I will play this video because it's a really short video with the sound. It's basically of one of the trout getting caught, which is really cool. So you'll see that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like the net. Yeah. He's freaking out because he sees the net. Is that a rainbow? Rainbow. Lots of good signs.
Fights were pretty slow all in all through the day. But the coolest part, I think, of the day was when we were barbecuing. So the group actually planned to do a barbecue, and I did not realize that they were doing a barbecue until kind of before I left my house to go fishing. So I did do a small recording of the ASMR of the grilling of the food, and we had some chicken, some sausages, some short ribs, but overall, like, the kind of fishing atmosphere in this trip was really awesome. Like, I've never been part of a fishing group. I've always wanted to have friends or kind of be part of a fishing group where you have a bunch of guys that you want to go fishing with. And it's just really cool because it was one of those times you're just like, dang, man, this is kind of what it's like to go fishing. Like, fishing is a big aspect of it and catching the fish, but just hanging out and enjoying nature and enjoying the meal and enjoying each other's company, that was probably one of the best parts of this trip, I would want to say. But overall, the day was pretty cold. The fishing conditions at San Pablo, at least in this day, were better, but with incoming rainstorms, the water's going to get stirred up again. And in the Bay Area, the rainstorms have been pretty good. So I don't know how the fishing conditions are going to be throughout the rest of the month of February. You can give it a try, but I would not know what to recommend in that suggestion. But in terms of some of the trouts that we caught, you'll see a picture here. This is of one of the trouts that we caught, that one of the other guys caught. And I swear, it looked like a hybrid between brown and rainbow. That's what those guys were saying. And it was like the darkest brown rainbow trout I've ever seen. Like, it had a rainbow stripe, but it had like a bunch of different dots on there. And I'd never seen a trout that brown before. But the trout we were catching, just like color-wise, looked amazing. Like, they looked really, really nice. I was like, wow, that's a nice looking fish. Like, just nice colors and stuff like that. They look pretty healthy from what they were, so maybe they're like a recent stock or something like that. But at the end of the day, when I actually went to clean my lightning trout, I measured it out, and it was about a 17-inch lightning trout, but that thing was pretty thick. Like, I was surprised. Like, when I caught it and put it on the stringer, it didn't seem that thick. I actually thought it was a little bit smaller, but I didn't realize it was like actually like a 17-inch lightning trout. So overall, this trip was really great. I'll include different clips within this video of different video points where I'll actually include the sound in there, but overall, just a really great trip. I don't know when I'll be able to fish with this fishing group again, because we all have different schedules. This was just one of those one-time things where we were able to all fish together, but it's nice to have local friends that are fishing and you can kind of get along with, and they all seem like relatively nice guys out there fishing. And for the boat launch, I had not fished at the boat launch in many years, and the last time I did, I got skunked. So it's really nice to actually catch a fish in the new area, like the boat launch, that I haven't caught a fish on in a very long time, maybe since I was a kid. So overall, just a really great fishing trip. Sorry I don't have a lot of video footage from this trip because a lot of it was just kind of talking, hanging out, and a lot of it I feel like I wouldn't be able to even put on video. So that is the reason why there's a shortage of video footage in this trip. But overall, just a great trip, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you guys tend to go to San Pablo, just feel free in the comments to let me know how you do. I'd like to see how people do during the season because I'll definitely be going. I just don't know when exactly, but I'll definitely try and make time to go to San Pablo to fish. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.